3, 2, 1, and action. What is up, Travels with Buddy Nation on the Travels with Buddy Station. Today is Monday, July the 11th, and it is a warm day out there, huh, bud? Hey, buddy, you got your butt facing the camera. You got to turn and face your fans, because they want to see you. They want to see the better end of you. Come here, you. And today is a warm day, and I'll probably take Bud out for a walk later. When the sun goes down a little bit, it gets a little bit cooler, right, Bud? But for a workout today, I'm going to do a superset, and it's actually a really good superset that I do once in a while. I'm going to do a hammer curl followed by a bench press, and that's a good superset. And I never did hammer curls. Actually, I think I might have did hammer curls on here one time, but I did them with a shoulder press. It was a hammer curl shoulder press. I'm just basically doing a hammer curl, which is an awesome exercise. And the way I demonstrate the hammer curl, I bring my elbows back slightly. That way there I keep my shoulder, my front shoulder out of the exercise. That way there, when I go and do the bench press, my shoulders aren't fatigued. So I just go and do the bench press, train my shoulders, my chest, my triceps. And the hammer curl is a great exercise for the biceps because it not only hits the biceps, but it hits the brachialis muscle, which is the forearm, like the side of the forearm, and in the muscles that basically bend the elbow, like the lower part of your bicep, it hits that very well. And basically, to do the hammer curl, basically your palms are facing each other. So with the hammer curl, my palms are facing my palms are facing each other, and I'll do them one arm at a time. In a regular traditional curl, your palms are facing up and down like this. This is a regular traditional curl. But with the hammer curl, your palms are facing each other. As you can see, like this, they're facing each other. And you can either go one arm at a time, or you can do them two arms at a time. And the hammer curl is really great for building strength in your biceps, your forearm, or your brachialis part of your forearm, which is your outer shell of the forearm, and in your lower biceps. It's a really good exercise to do, and that's it. And I'll start with the hammer curl, and I'll go into a bench press. And I don't have much weight on the bar. When I do the bench press, I like to start with about 15 to 25 reps, and with low intensity. So I don't have a whole lot of weight. I think there's about 85 pounds on my bench press. And I'll probably do about 4 sets of each. Then I'll increment the weight up, probably 10 pounds for each set, and about 5 pounds for each set on the dumbbells. And I will demonstrate that exercise. And Bud, I want to give Bud some camera time before I go in and do the exercises. And I think I'll take Bud for a walk in the backyard today because it is warm. I was thinking about mowing my lawn, but it's a little hot for that today. Maybe tomorrow I'll mow my lawn. How about come here, you. Bud, you gotta face the camera. Your fans want to see you. Yeah. And even though Bud's got a cool haircut, he's not into hot weather. He's not a warm weather dog. He's actually a good winter dog because when winter's here, his coat gets really thick. He's got a really thick coat, believe it or not. And in the wintertime, he looks a lot bigger than he is because his hair grows in really thick. And I think it keeps him warm. Well, I know it keeps him warm, so he handles the cold pretty well. Because I take him for walks. It could be 10 degrees outside, and he handles it really well. Sometimes it's like I don't like taking him out when it's that cold, but he likes going out, and he doesn't seem to mind the cold weather. But when it's really hot, I notice he gets sluggish. He doesn't want to walk. He wants to be picked up and carried, and he's not crazy. He's not too crazy about the heat. He's kind of like me. He's more of a winter dog, right, Bud? He's more of a looks like a little snowball, right, Bud? He looks like a little winter winter kind of dog. But I want to get Bud some camera time. Because I got to get Bud in the camera. Right, buddy? I want to make sure you get in the camera on these videos because I'm sure the fans, they want to see you just as much as they want to see the exercises and learn about weightlifting and strength training and all that. They want to see Bud. Right, Bud? Because you're the star of the show. And remember also to take those walks because that's important. Even you know when the weather's not that great, it's good to get the walks in. If I don't take my walks a couple times a week at least, 2-3 times a week, yeah, I just don't feel as good. Even with all the weight training, I don't feel as good. So it's important to take those walks. That's why it's good to have a dog to motivate you to go for walks. Right, Bud? Bud gives me that kind of motivation to go for walks. Because he loves going for walks, especially when the weather's nice. That perfect 60, 70 degree weather with a nice little wind, nice little breeze. That's perfect walking weather for us. But anyways, without further ado, I will demonstrate the hammer curl. I'll superset the hammer curl with the bench press, and I'll show you how I do the hammer curl in the bench press. And I just train, especially my first warm-up sets. I just train for a nice set, nice burn. I try not to overtrain. Just get a good workout and work those muscles and strengthen them up. And I'll put Bud in the other room where I got the air conditioner on, so he can be nice and cool. And I'll put you in the other room, and I will demonstrate those exercises, and you can spot me in the other room, right, Bud? And later we'll go in the backyard where it's shady, and we can go outside and walk around the backyard for a little bit. All right. So without further ado, I'll put Buddy over here. There. Bonk. And it's a little cooler than the other room. Okay. So first, I will do the hammer curl first. Sometimes it's good when you're doing a superset with a bench press and a curl. Sometimes it might be better to do the bigger exercise first, like the bench press. But since I'm warming up very light on the bench, for me it doesn't really matter. So I'll do the hammer curl first today, and I'll demonstrate the hammer curl. And I'll turn sideways so you can see me. So I can do the hammer curl. As you can see, my palms are facing each other. My hands are down. My palms are facing each other. I'm going to do one arm at a time. And I bring the elbows back. When I curl the weight up, I bring my elbows back just slightly. That way there, it keeps the front shoulder out of the exercise. That way I'm not working the front part of my shoulder. I'm just working the biceps, the brachialis part of my forearm, and the lower part of my bicep. And I'll go for about 10 to 15 repetitions. So come along with me. Alright, I got 15 repetitions. And as you notice, when I did the curl, I kept my palms sideways facing each other. So it's going like this. For a regular traditional dumbbell curl, typically you twist your wrist so your palms are facing the front part of your shoulder. By the time you get your forearm to the upper level of the exercise, so you're going like this. And when you're twisting your wrist so your palm faces the front part of your shoulder, it hits more of the peak part of your bicep, and it doesn't really hit as much as of your brachialis and your forearm, your lower part of your arm. So with the hammer curl, you're keeping your wrist sideways, and it's hitting your forearm and your lower part of your bicep. Really strengthens that part of your arm. That's really good, like if you're into arm wrestling, or, activities like that, because it really strengthens that lower part of, the strength around your elbow. Really targets that area. It's a really good exercise, and it shouldn't be left out in any strength training program. And without further ado, I will demonstrate the bench press. So typically when I do this superset, I don't really rest at all between the two sets. But since I'm explaining the exercises, that's why I'm resting a little bit between the sets. In my first warm-up on the bench press, I like to get about 25 reps. So even if I only get 15, I might put the bar down and rest for a couple of seconds, and then I'll do an additional 10 reps. Or I might do 15 and then put the bar down on the rack and rest for a few seconds, do 5 reps, and then do an additional 5 reps. So I get about 25 repetitions. Because when you're doing a bench press, you're working a lot of muscles. You're working your shoulders, your triceps, your chest. And I think it's really important, especially as you get older, when you're doing a bench press, to warm up light and get those reps in before you start putting the weight on the bar. All right, so without further ado, I will demonstrate the bench press. Count along with me. Great. So as you can see, I got 20 repetitions, and I like to get at least 25 when I warm up. So I put the bar back on the bench, and I'm gonna rest for a few seconds, and then I'm gonna go for 5 more repetitions. Alright, I actually got 12 more. I think the camera motivated me to get more repetitions. So actually I got a total of 32 repetitions on my first warm-up set. And I think with bench pressing, it's important, especially as you get older, like me, I'm 50 years old, it's important to warm up very lightly, get at least 15 to 20 repetitions on your warm-up set with light weight, and then just gradually add more weight as you do more sets. So my next set, I'll put about another 20 pounds on the bar, 10 pounds on each side. And I usually go up in increments of 20 pounds on the bench. So set after that, I'll put an additional 10 pounds on each side, and so on and so forth, until I hit the maximum amount of weight I want to lift for that day. But anyways, that's my exercise, my workout routine for today. Remember, if you like these videos, make sure you subscribe to Travels with Buddy. Remember also to have an awesome day, keep training, and peace out everybody, and stay cool.